Elkins creates the complex but true concept that the world is full of eyes and apparitions. That is, a benevolent hallucination of eyes. It is a surreal thought, and one that may be slightly discomforting, as we realize how little of our surroundings we actually take notice of and absorb in our day-to-day life. Perhaps even more disconcerting, and even frightening then, is the idea that even though we may not see certain objects, they do indeed see us. In this sense, at every angle we are being watched, whether we are conscious of it or not. Consequently, we are more often than not trapped in what Elkins calls double blindness. We not only don't notice particular things, but we also don't notice not noticing them. This heralds the connection between seeing and knowing, since to not see is to not truly know. Elkins presents the visual relationship between humans and the world as one that is mutually validating. That is, to see is to be seen, and vice versa. The connection between seeing and knowing exists because, as Elkins asserts, seeing is a product not of the eye, but of the mind, hence why inanimate objects can bear vision. This sense of knowing that is born from seeing occurs twofold. First, when we are aware of parts of our surroundings, particularly those that are commonly overlooked, we expand our field of vision beyond mundane categories. This means our landscape is no longer seen simply as a construct of tree, bird, sky, grass, but rather we realize the distinct and individual identities of each landform, flower, cloud, and how they all coalesce to produce the unique view in front of us. Second, this generates an intersection of gazes, so that the objects in a sense rebound our sight, so that what we learn about the objects themselves extends to something we learn about our own selves, much like a kind of mirror effect. The other day, while enjoying a sunny summer's afternoon, I was looking at the sky, watching the clouds roll into each other and break apart, and I started playing that age-old game of trying to pick what image each cloud represented, kind of like playing Magic Eye with the sky. In one particular cloud, I saw a snake, which slowly thickened into what could be seen as the map of Australia, which then molded into a sort of face-like structure. This made me reflect on Elkins' theory, how the clouds returned to me a small part of my image of myself. My own fears, desires, experiences were contained in my sense of sight. I am afraid of snakes, and I used to live in Australia. As for the face, perhaps it was mine, or perhaps it reflected an emotion of which I held or resembled, or perhaps it merely represented my being a human. Either way, it unconsciously reminded me of certain things about myself, and in doing so validated my sense of person and place in the world. I realized how this is exactly how the connection between seeing and knowing is made. As Elkins says, the object not only looks back at the observer, it makes the observer by looking, just as I made the object by looking. In this sense, seeing defines the seer as much as it defines what is seen. It gives us a sense of knowledge about our surroundings, around which we can develop and understand our own sense of our identity.